Guys, so I'm here in the chicken coop right now, and it's about -40 outside. Our chicken coop isn't heated, but even though it's not heated, it's actually only about -12 in here, which, I mean, still cold, but it's a lot better than -40 outside. So what I'm gonna do right now is, you can see chicken coop's looking a little dirty. It's time to add some extra bedding in here. So there's a couple different things you can do. Some people like to completely clean out the chicken coop and then put fresh bedding in. But one thing that we're doing in the winter is what's called the deep litter method. So basically, instead of removing all your litter out and getting rid of all the poop and everything, you basically just come in here, stir everything up, and then add a new fresh layer of bedding over top of that. And what that's going to do is all the stuff underneath, all that organic material, is going to basically start to compost underneath the fresh bedding, and that's going to give off heat. So the heat from that is actually going to warm up the inside of your chicken coop. So that plus just the body warmth of your chickens inside the coop is going to be enough to keep things warm in there for you. As long as you got a good insulated chicken coop with no drafts or anything, that you should be good without having to add any extra heat. So just to put it in perspective, it was colder than -50 with the wind chill here for the last 2 days in a row, and our chickens are totally fine. We've just been leaving them inside the coop during this extreme cold snap. It's supposed to warm up in another couple days, and then they'll be able to go back out in their runs. So that's just one way you can kind of get by in the cold without having to actually add any extra heat, and then you're dealing with potential fire hazards, and not to mention your utility bill going through the roof too. So anyways, I'm just going to start by stirring things up in here, and then we'll add some fresh bedding and see how it looks after. All right, so I got everything kind of stirred up in here now. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get our new fresh shavings right here. I'm going to cut these bags open, and then I'm just going to spread it all around on the floor. All right, now I'm just gonna use my rake. I'm gonna level everything out over top of the old bedding that we just kind of stirred up, and then we'll see if we gotta add any more. All right, so yeah, it looks like I need one more bag, so I'm gonna grab that, and then I should be good. So we got the new bedding put in. Looks way better in here. So now the floor is it's several inches thick now with bedding, so it creates an insulation layer from the cold floor, which is good. And then like I said, combined with the old bedding underneath there, it's going to kind of compost and give off some heat, so it's going to keep things nice and warm in here. Some other important things is you got to make sure that you got somewhere for your chickens to roost. So we've got these kind of natural style roosting bars that we put out. These are just a bunch of deadfall branches that we got from around the property. You can use 2x4s as well, or basically just anything for your chickens to be able to get up off the ground, and wide enough that they can get their feet underneath their body, and that's going to be able to let them kind of warm their feet up and not get frostbite. So and then obviously you got to make sure they got access to feed and water. So for us, we do have a heated waterer, so this just makes sure that we don't have to worry about coming out here and busting ice every day or anything like that. So this works good. I haven't found there to be much of an issue with humidity buildup in here with this style waterer, because there's only like this little bit around in the trough there at any given time. The rest is just sitting here in this in the reservoir. I think it'd be different if you're using one of those heated dog dish style ones, because then it's all just open, so there's a lot more evaporation. But yeah, and then we added some fresh bedding into the nesting boxes too, so those are good for them. And that's about it. So we'll come back and do this as needed throughout the winter, and then we'll give it a complete clean out in the spring and put right down to the ground and sanitize everything, and then we'll put new bedding in then. For anybody wondering why we've only got 2 chickens in this entire big chicken coop, we did have We had up to 15 chickens at one point, but we had a weasel break in that kind of decimated our flock. But fortunately, we've got some new recruits on the way, and they are over here in our brooder. So this is our brooder setup right here. I put this together. It's got two heat lamps on the top there, and then we got two access doors inside. You can see everybody's kind of silhouette in there. Some of these guys are getting pretty big. Oh, don't jump out. So we got a few different breeds in here. Some barnyard mix too, but we got some Morans. We got some Buff Orpingtons, there's a few Silkies in here somewhere. They're probably hiding over there somewhere. Yeah, there's one. And I think some Rhode Island Red, some Sussex. And then, yeah, like I said, just some mixes. So basically to keep these guys happy, just heat lamps and fresh access to water and food. So they got lots of that. We got 2 waterers in here, so it lasts a little bit longer between fill-ups. And that's about it. So these guys, like this one right here that's trying to jump out right now, these guys are actually big enough they could go in the coop right now, but because it's been so cold, I'm delaying putting them in there. So we're gonna wait an extra probably week, and then we'll move them in there with the other hens, and then it won't be such of a shock adjusting from the different temperatures. So, but yeah, that's all you got to do to keep your chickens happy in the winter. Pretty straightforward, but yeah, just follow those steps and you should be good to go.